Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a kitchen tour. I get asked about this quite a lot and asked about questions to do with my kitchen quite a lot, and I realised I never really showed too much after the renovation, just because well, things are so up and down, aren't they? So this is going to be a tour of our kitchen. If you are new to my channel, we underwent a whole downstairs and well 2-story renovation from March last year in 2020. It was very intense for obvious reasons, and it finished around September in 2020. There were a few delays obviously due to COVID and things like that, but we've been living in this now for almost I would say 5-6 months, something like that, and it's mostly finished. There will be some tweaks and changes as we settle into it a little bit more, but I thought I will give you a little tour. So I'm going to show you this space that I'm in at the moment today, and also our utility, because I feel like they kind of work together quite well. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So this is what the space looks like from the far corner. This is our messy area, so you'll just have to excuse that, but I will run through that in a little bit. But basically the house used to be, see where this supporting steel is, it used to be that big, and we used to have a kitchen in this area, and we used to just have our a small sofa and a little table here, and the telly was on the wall around the corner, which I'll show you in a sec. And then in this area here up to maybe this door here, we had a conservatory, and it was something that I was really excited about when I first looked at the house when we bought it years and years ago. But I very, very quickly learned that old conservatories are the biggest heat waster in the world, and you can't really use them very well. This conservatory had gutter problems, loads of blown glass, slugs and creepy crawlies and everything were getting in there, and we didn't really know how. And it just made sense to reuse the foundations to extend out that way. And then we also had more of an extension up here as well for our bedroom, because we had 3 children, 2 of which were sharing at the time, and now everybody has their own bedroom. So this is all new space. We had a new kitchen put in. It was the first time we'd ever had a brand new kitchen, and I love it. So I'm going to start over in this area. So we decided to go with the anthracite bifolds. They are one of the best investments that we have ever made, and we've not really even used them enough yet. We benefited from these once the renovation was coming to an end, because we could have them wide open during the summer and warmer months and play outside. The kids love them, and we also decided to go for the integrated blinds because it just makes cleaning a doddle, and these are fantastic. So I would really recommend them if you can get them. We have the 4-door set up. This door can open as a normal door would, and then these 3 do a concertina fold out that way. Excuse the state of our garden. Gardens do get hit quite badly when you have a reno, and then we've had some really wet weather, so we need to get some grass seed down on here. We've also got this little monkey now as well, who doesn't help matters. But you can see here, all these flagstones were still in place before we knocked down the conservatory. So this is where the conservatory came out to, and it was fantastic because we already had the space there, and we didn't have to then impact the garden. The only bit of space that we did lose outside was just flagstones over here, and we never used that anyway because you couldn't see the kids properly unless you were sat in the grassed area anyway. So for the rest of this space, we decided that we wanted to use this as a living space, so that when the doors were open, the kids could play in, they could play out, we could sit and chill on the sofa and watch them have a glass of wine when it's warm, that kind of thing. Sorry, I just had to let the dog out. But another thing that we went for in here was a lantern light, and I'm so glad we did. It's gonna go all funny with the exposure now because my camera always does when it's too bright. But this has, it's just amazing. It offers so much light. We have spotlights in this section as well, but we don't use them very often. And it's been amazing, when it snowed, you saw all the snow falling down, and when the sun's out, there's so much natural light in here, and it has heat, thermal glass, I don't know what it's called, so you won't be able to see it very well. You can see it quite well outside, but it stops people from looking in for starters. But it also has like a blue reflective coating on, so it never gets too hot or too cold, and again, just absolutely love it. And then obviously this is like our living space in this room. We wanted to have this here just purely for the flow of everything. Like, we felt like we ummed and ahed with so many different like layouts, like having the kitchen, the island going that way or moving it over here, but we just felt like this worked better. Plus our old kitchen was in this corner, so all of the like electrics and plumbing and that kind of thing were already here, and it just made financial sense as well. So this area is just kind of where we hang out and we watch telly, and it just, I absolutely love it. So our sofas are from DFS. They are the French Connection range. We actually got them in a sale at the time, which was quite nice, and they're still available now, and I absolutely love them. I wanted something neutral that would fit in this space, so they're kind of like a beigey type shade, and then all the cushions are from various places like H&M or IKEA and that kind of thing. It also came with a matching poof, and we just keep blankets on this for whenever they're needed. It also keeps it protected as well, which is quite good. And then the light here is from George. Plant is from Beards and Daisies. I'd quite like to get another one actually. And then this unit here is from IKEA, and the rug is from Dunelm. I have to say, Dunelm was one of my favourite places to look for bits while we were doing up all of this area, because it's so affordable and they do some like pretty on-trend pieces. So yeah, I love this little spot. It's really pretty, and I like to decorate this throughout the season, so like Christmassy bits go on there or Halloweeny bits, and it's like a nice focal point, which is quite nice. This was from John Lewis, and that was George. That was I can't remember the name, Baker and Stonehouse, that was from, and then this one was in the Zara sale. And yeah, this is just kind of like the way we set all this up. And this is the dog's toy basket, so he goes in there and helps himself to whatever he wants to play with. One of the features that I get asked about a lot, you can't really see it very well at the moment because it's daytime, but we have fairy lights clipped all along here, so it makes him a really pretty feature, I think, especially at night. And all we did was I measured this length and the width, and then down there as well, added it all up, and then found some plug-in fairy lights that were the closest in length, and then I stuck them on with little command hooks, so you can see these here. So they're just like equidistant, like spaced out all along the top, and I started at that end where the end of the lights were, and then dragged it all back. But I absolutely love them, and I get asked about them a lot, so that's how I did it, and it was really affordable as well. I got everything from Amazon. And then yeah, this is what it looks like from this corner. Excuse the blanket that's drying on the radiator, but it's my house at the end of the day. And then over here is obviously like the rest of the kitchen space. If you've got kids, by the way, this is battered. We had this in our like old kitchen, but this is a stack from IKEA, and it's so handy for like moving around and helping the kids to like help out and do cooking and baking, so I really recommend one of them. And then this is the kitchen. Now, this was from a local business, and the manufacturer is Symphony, so you can probably get this elsewhere if you live like in a different area to me, but I would definitely recommend it. It's the Ashbourne range in the shade Cashmere, and I absolutely love it because I wanted something neutral and light, because I love light. As you can probably tell by now, I don't like spaces to be too dark, and I like to go neutral and then add pops of colour with everything else, because I feel like you can mix things up a bit then, and I feel like it adds a bit of longevity to, you know, these sorts of things, because we never ever had a new kitchen in our lives before, and we really wanted to make a choice that we felt would stand the test of time. So I'm aware that it's not the most trendy kitchen in the world, but we absolutely love it. We always wanted an island. We had like a butcher's block style one from IKEA in our old kitchen, and it just makes the kitchen a lot more sociable, we find. So we do a lot of stuff on this island, from homeschooling. I do my workout in front of this. I put my phone on there and do my workouts and stuff like that. And we do baking, we do crafts, we like sometimes have kitchen discos, and I pretend that this is my bar for the kids, and I make them like mocktails and serve them sweets and stuff. It's just made this area so much fun, and I'm really, really pleased we went with it. I think it is possibly just under 3 meters in length. But it's been a long time since I've been looking at designs and drawings and things like that. And then we went for quartz. So this is Snow Glitz quartz. And I don't know if you can see, but there are tiny, let me try and show you. There are tiny little sparkles in it. You can kind of see them. And we love it. It's so easy to clean. And because it's white, it kind of makes you want to keep it clean. Obviously, like, we had to invest a lot of money into this, and I'm so house proud, it's ridiculous now. I am so proud of this space. I really like natural wood, so that was like another option, but I have heard from lots of like friends and family members that wood will tend to like warp and absorb water and not last as well, so we decided to go for quartz because this is really going to stand the test of time. I'll show you some products that I use to clean it in a second. We also have a pop-up socket here, which I love. I would rather have one like this because I can keep all the wires contained and out of the way of the kids. I know you can get side-mounted ones as well, but I just prefer this, and it's really convenient and hides out of the way as well. While I'm also over on this side, I thought I would quickly show the stools because they're a good dupe for a more expensive brand. The name escapes me, but they were like £59 a stool, and that is a hell of a lot cheaper than some stools. Oh my goodness, I didn't realise how expensive they were until I had to buy them, because the tea that we had in our old kitchen I picked up from a charity shop for like £10. But yeah, we absolutely love these. They're great with the kids. They're not too high, as you can probably tell. Really easy to get up and down on, and actually quite comfortable, and I feel like they tie in really nicely with the general theme, which is kind of like modern country-ish kitchen. But I will show you the kitchen now in a little bit more detail. So I'm going to start over here and I'll work my way around. So this random cupboard here is actually where our boiler is. We decided to keep it for 2 reasons. First one was that it was actually cheaper than having to reroute it elsewhere, because all the pipes and plumbing were in place and that would have cost us a lot more money, and it didn't really offend us where it is, so we decided to keep it as is and box it in with matching cupboards. And it also enables us to have these shelves like nicely framed as well, and these are fantastic. I'll talk more about them in a second. But over here in this corner we have like our fruit bowl, some fancy chopping boards, and a little smelly thing. This is an FM one that I got recently. It smells like, what's it smell of? Victor and Roll Flower Bomb, but it's beautiful. So if you never had one before, I can recommend them. They're a bit spendy, but I felt like it was worth my money. And then obviously we have like our thermostat and stuff like that. And then in here is the cupboard that everybody hates, but everyone's got one, and it is our Tupperware cupboard. I do like to keep it relatively tidy. I mean, these bits, let's tidy these up while I'm down here. So we just got lunch boxes, Tupperware, that kind of thing on this side, like little tubs that we use to either store things in or make like mini jellies. These are fab. These are the Systema ones, and I make like all sorts with these, like mini jellies. You can put Angel Delight in there and section them out, or use them for snacks and lunch boxes. Not that we're doing lunch boxes very much at the moment. And then I have some dishes that I don't use that much that I keep either for, like, I don't know, you know, when you need an extra serving dish for Christmas or something like that, they're all in there. And then we have a million water bottles, and there's only 5 of us, but my children lose water bottles like I lose my mind. So we keep them all, and it's good just to have a few backups. And then actually in this corner here we have like makeup and hair stuff, because I started getting ready down here towards the end of the renovation because it meant I could keep an eye on the kids but still get ready during the day. Plus our bedroom is often out of bounds, and I keep doing it because it just seems to be more convenient. I do keep some makeup upstairs, we've got a mirror up there and that kind of thing, but it works for me doing it down here where they're small. So we just have this little portable mirror and then 2 baskets with like makeup and hair stuff in for me and Daisy. Also very handy, by the way, for school runs. Like when I'm doing her hair in the morning, it's easier to do it down here. I can get the boys like sorted as well. I can do it while she's eating her breakfast, that kind of thing. So I can recommend that. Go against the grain and put things in different places if it works better for you. That's what I say. Then over here is like the main focal point of the kitchen. I knew as soon as we decided to go ahead with this renovation, that I wanted some big scaffold shelves that I could style up, but with things that like really matter to me, some things that are pretty, and I love them. I absolutely love them. We actually got these from a local person who was making them over like the summer, I think it was, and it worked out cheaper for us because obviously if you buy them on Etsy or elsewhere, you also have to pay for delivery, which can be quite expensive because, as you can probably tell, these are very, very long. But I love them. I'm obsessed. So we tend to keep like cookery books, of which I have many because I am just really into food and cooking and that kind of thing. And then just little knickknacks as well. And we put like the kids' artwork on here, cards, that kind of thing. Daisy made me this the other day, which is a rock with a heart stuck on it. So I keep that up there. And yeah, it makes him smile. It's nice to have something pretty and sentimental in the kitchen. And then over here we have our dishwasher. This is a Bosch one. We took recommendations for appliances off the person that designed our kitchen because obviously they tend to know better than we do. And then we have our butler sink. I've always wanted a proper, like, you know, like a proper old-fashioned butler's sink, and I absolutely love this. It cleans really well, really easy to maintain. It keeps like some washing in there. I should have tidied that up really. And then we also have a cooker tap. Now this was not factored in as part of our plans when we were designing this kitchen, but the supplier that we went with, like the local company, they have deals on. That's a really nice thing about shopping local actually, is that they're in control of like their budget and stuff. So there was either, you could get this as like your freebie if you spent over a certain amount, or you could get your hob, and we decided to get the cooker tap. We upgraded and spent a little bit extra to get it in gold to match everything else, but it's basically, it does like hot and then cold, and then this adjusts the stream depending on how intense you want it. And then if you double press and turn, this is boiling water. And it is amazing. It's more efficient than a kettle. It also means that we don't have to have a kettle out on the side anymore. And it's really child friendly as well, because it can be tricky for an adult to get it on if you're not concentrating. So we love that. And then underneath here, we just have the cupboard under the sink like everybody does. So that's the tank for the boiling water there. And then just some cleaning products. We have this, which is my Sonic scrubber. It's really good, by the way. Good for like cleaning things. It's basically like a giant electric toothbrush for your house, but it's really good. This is what I use, by the way, to keep my quartz nice and shiny and clean. So it's Barkeeper's Friend Power Spray. It's really, really good. You can get a cream and powder version for more intense stains, so please don't worry about quartz staining, because this stuff is a dream. And then we just have like the usual bits and bobs on here, a bit of Zaflora, some dishwasher tablets, bin cleaner, that kind of thing, rubber gloves. So yeah, that's just is a boring cupboard. We've all got one. And then up here quickly, I will mention our tiles. I get asked about these a lot. These are the, what are they called? Siren tile from Topps Tile, and they are in the shade Linen. And then here we have a big set of 3 wide drawers. If you can do your kitchen design you're going through at the moment, definitely choose drawers over cupboards where suitable, because they are so much easier to store things in and you won't regret it. So in here is our cupboard that everybody has, you know, just bits and bobs, my wax melts and my collection in there, tin foil, cling film, that kind of thing, spare tea towels, I roll them up and store them here. So just all the usual stuff. Then in here we have plates and bowls and that kind of thing, kids stuff, random things. And then at the bottom we have even more, and this is really convenient because when you're taking them out of the dishwasher you can just bring them over here and put them away straight away. So we tried to keep everything seamless. I spent a lot of time thinking about where I was going to put things when everything was finished, and it does work really well. This corner cupboard I love because of the design. The corner piece here is attached to this door, so you don't have that random block in the middle that makes it really hard to like get to things. So in here we keep squash and that kind of thing. We keep root vegetables and onions and whatever in the dark, because they like that. Some bigger pots and pans that we don't use as much. And then appliances. Probably should have tidied this up to make myself look more professional, but you know, we all just shove things in, and that's fine. There's actually loads of room in here, and I need to push things back a bit further, but you know, we move. I love this cupboard because it just hides a multitude of sins. So that's everything in there. And then here is my little coffee corner and the toaster, that kind of thing. We got the Breville toaster because it like has 4 slots, which we find we need as a family of 5. You make a lot more toast a lot more quickly, and it was nice and white, so it blends in nicely. I've got my old Nespresso machine that's still going strong here, and the milk frother, and then I also have some monin syrup at the back for when I want to make like iced coffees and stuff. And then that's our soda stream, and then here is another one of those cupboards, and this is where we keep all the glasses. And we keep them in here because A, you can like grab a glass, grab your squash, go and get some water, and it also keeps them out of the way because we don't want kids like messing with glass and stuff. But we've got all sorts. We've got like their stuff, we've got some extra mugs, like random themed bits at the back. We keep most of like Christmas and that kind of thing in the garage when we're not using it, and then we just have normal glasses and wine glasses, and then like some special stuff here, so that's them. And then in this cupboard here is where we keep like coffees and teas, so all the pods are in there, and then some mugs that we use every day, and it all just like kind of works really nicely as well. Like the milk is in here in the fridge, so you just kind of, you have everything you need. I like it. This is our fridge, as I just mentioned. We just went with a Bosch one again. I obviously did a food shot last night, so it looks like rammed. We have an ice box here that we keep like ice in, ice creams or anything that we use on the daily, and then our actual freezer is in our utility, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, I love this. We used to have a Smeg freezer that well, fridge freezer that we got secondhand, but I personally prefer this because I feel like it makes much better use of space. Like the Smeg was really wide and chunky, and then when you open it up it wasn't as big at all. But yeah, they are beautiful fridges though, can't deny that. Then up here we have our drinks cupboard for when we make cocktails and that kind of thing. It's not completely full with booze, by the way, there is space at the back, but yeah, we like to make cocktails and stuff, so we keep everything in there. And then we have 2 ovens, so we have a combi oven that works as a microwave and then an oven and a grill, so that meant we didn't need to put a microwave on the side, and it gave us more space again. And then we also have like the normal like Neff oven. It's like a hide and slide, so excuse those trays, I need to clean them. But these are fantastic. They're both Neff, as I think I said, and they are brilliant. I absolutely love them. Really, really easy to clean and just work really well. Under here is that like drawer that everyone has, a bit for like pots and pans and trays and dishes, and then we have a secret drawer which is for all of my like sandwich cutters, cookie cutters, that kind of thing. Oh, sorry about that. And yeah, this is like so handy, and it's a nice place for these all to go because they don't get in my way elsewhere. And the kids can also access this drawer and then choose what they would like their sandwich shape to be in, or if we're making cookies, like what shape they want to do. So yeah, that is those. And then our favourite cupboard is actually this one, and it's a big pantry. I'm gonna have to stand back. A pantry one, and we have mainly shelves and drawers in here, and it's absolutely fantastic. This, we have more storage in this alone than what we had in our entire kitchen before we had it done, because our old kitchen was second hand, and we just squished it into the space that we had to save money at the time. But this is it's kind of organised at the moment. This is where I keep like spices and sauces, so there's a few miscellaneous bits in here at the moment, but like all my spices are back there. My loose ones are in this little tray. Gravies, sauces, like I said, and then the next one is jars and that kind of thing. Obviously, like I love to cook, so we go through these quite quickly because I try and cook from scratch when I can. And then down here is like pastas, rice, pouches. Mark goes through these so quickly because he loves them for his lunches and stuff, and that's what's in there. In here we keep like bread or like crackers as popcorn, that kind of thing. And then in the bottom this is absolutely chocker because I did the food shop last night. But there's just like crisps and snacks and all sorts. These should last us a while, hopefully. But you know what it's like when you've got 3 kids at home, because they are like locusts and don't stop eating. But we put these on the bottom shelf so the kids can like ask if they can get a snack, and I'll say, yeah, you can get XYZ, or go and get some fruit, and they can help themselves. But it just keeps everything out of the way. Let's chuck you guys back in there. And then up at the top we have cereals, these little like things. I've got lentils, rice, couscous, that kind of thing. We've got porridge at the back. This is like my snacks or some baking that we've done recently. Then we've got our vitamins up at the top, and then like, not like naughty snacks, but you know what I mean, like sweets and stuff that we just keep out of the kids' reach, because then they can't like do a sneaky one and try and get them without asking us. So that's what we keep in there. I absolutely love this cupboard. We went for these drawers because I don't know if you can tell, but they're a lot more substantial than the wire racks. The guy that designed our kitchen with us recommended these because they hold a lot more weight as well, and they don't wobble or warp or bend or anything like that. So I can recommend this style if you're looking into it at the moment, because they're a game changer. They hold so much. So that is that. And then quickly over here, we went for an external bin. This is a simple human bin, and I'll do a little demo because I love it. It's got a foot pedal, but it also keeps its bin bags at the back here. So when you empty the bin, you can just grab another one and put it right in straight away. It's really easy to use and dead intuitive. We went for one that wasn't in a cupboard, A, because we felt like it was a waste of space, but also the person that designed our kitchen said that with the amount of people in our household, the bins that go in cupboards are quite small and would fill up really quickly, so we'd constantly be emptying it. And he said they're more difficult to clean and stuff, so he suggested doing this because that's what he did in his kitchen, and we're really, really chuffed. It fits beautifully here, and I have no issues with it being out on display. And then finally, this is what is in the island. So we only have storage on one side because we chose to use the other side as seating. But this is our baking cupboard. So we just have everything from like raisins and sugar and flour, our scales. I love these Salter scales, they're fantastic, they're so easy to use. We have spreads in here. We've got golden caster sugar, plain flour, self-raising flour, some packet mixes at the back, hot chocolate stuff over here, and stuff for our what's it called, chocolate fountain, that kind of thing. And everything just goes in here because we tend to do all of our baking together up here, so it just makes sense for it to be there, so we can just grab it and the kids can help themselves and join in, which they like to do. Then here we have 3 massive drawers, again, slightly bigger than the ones over on the other side. And I love this because cooking away, I need a spatula or something, and they're here, and it just works so well. Again, putting them away, the dishwasher's there, so we just put them straight in here. And I love this, I absolutely love it. Then underneath we have larger utensils that we don't like maybe use as much, or just bigger ones that sometimes like fill this up too quickly. And then we have all of our pots and pans. We have the Tefal Ingenio range for the induction hob, which is up here. It's a Neff one, again I would really recommend that. And they come with detachable handles, so you can use them on the hob like this, but then if you want to put them in the oven, you can take the handle off and the handle won't melt. And so they're really, really versatile and easier to store as well because the handles come off, so I would really recommend them. We got them in the sale at Larrady, I think it was, because they had an offer on at the time. And then finally under here are just like chopping boards, trays, baking dishes, measuring jugs, these things, because even though quartz is really hard wearing, I'm not about to like risk damaging it, so I use these for like hot stuff. And that is that. And then finally, this is a bit extra. Again, wasn't part of our plan, but we inquired when we were designing the kitchen, and the wine fridge wasn't actually that much more expensive than having like an extra cupboard, so we decided to go for it, and we're really glad that we did. So we just keep wine in it basically, sometimes beer, prosecco, that kind of thing. But I really love having this actually because it stops your fridge getting like full up with stuff like this, and you've got more space for food and stuff. And then finally, this random little cupboard is oils, salt, soy sauce, pepper, fry light. that kind of thing. And then random bits at the bottom are just my weights that I use for my workout. They're really light ones, so I need to get some heavier ones actually, but I keep them in there just so I can quickly grab them. And then there's like a random box and plug sockets and that kind of thing. So we don't really use that bit that much, but that is essentially the kitchen. And then over here we have the door out into our hallway, and then living room and office, and then our upstairs. This is the downstairs loo. This has always been here because this part of the house, once upon a time when we had our first reno done, this used to be a downstairs bedroom because our house is a dormer bungalow. So it does have an upstairs, but it also had space for a bedroom downstairs. However, we obviously chose to change it all up. Sorry, the doorbell just rang. But yeah, we chose to keep this because it would have been an added expense again to move it all with the waste pipe and the pipe work and the water access and all of that. But it's also really handy when you've got little kids and you're potty training, or they want to wash their hands before dinner. And obviously we just keep it clean and tidy. And this little cloakroom set is just perfect for this space because you can still wash your hands really easily. And we also now have storage, which is great. I keep like spare tampons in there for when we finally have guests, and like pull-ups and wipes and stuff. We use our cheeky wipes upstairs and stuff, but we have those just for emergencies down here, and it works really well. So that's for that. And then this is what it looks like from over here. Our table is from Next. It extends twice, so hopefully one day when things are, fingers crossed, back to normal, we can host and have like big family get-togethers and dinners and stuff. One thing I want to do is get much more like going on around here. I might even like do some paneling or paint it a different colour. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to make this space look a little bit more inviting. These are prints that we got when we went to London last in January of 2020, before the world ended, and they're just like 3 of our favourite musicals that mean a lot to us, and I really like having them here. We couldn't knock this existing wall back anymore because it's a support for the rest of the house, but I quite like this like snug enclosure that we have here. It works really well. And then this is the random area, which I think will change in time. We've just got a couple of prints up at the moment, but the dog is in his crate because he's got muddy paws, so he's having a nap. I'll let him out in a sec, but his crate lives there, and ideally eventually we would like to put maybe some more storage here, but while he's still little, it makes sense to obviously keep his crate out of the way, keep it somewhere where he's like nice and safe and warm, and it's his place to retreat. Look at him nodding off, he's so cute. And we also have some random bits. This is for an activity that I'm going to do later with the kids, and then this is homeschooling stuff that I've just left out for now because we are using it all the time while we're homeschooling, obviously. And then we're kind of like back to where we started, and then we're in our utility. So this is the door to our garage. It used to be a standalone garage. We knocked part of it down, integrated it with the house, and we access that through there now. So the cats have like a cat flap in there. We keep their food in there as well, so the dog doesn't eat it because he's a golden retriever and they're very greedy, and then they just get like a bit of privacy while they eat, because otherwise I'm sure all hell will break loose. And we just keep like our hoover and stuff. Sometimes we keep it in the garage, but if we've just been using it, I'll leave it here. Normal washing basket, standard with every house. And then we've got a coat rack up here where we keep like masks, bag, like one of Daisy's coats, my coat, that kind of thing, a little radiator and a little bin, and the dog's food. And then we went for a cheaper version of like cupboard kitchen type stuff in here, obviously because it's a utility, it's not the main thing, but I absolutely love it. We have a standalone fridge freezer here because it just made sense to us. A lot of our families have theirs in like utility or garage and out the way, and it works really well for us. We use the top half for like extra drinks and cans and the dog's food and that kind of thing, and the bottom half is all freezer. But we keep our extra coffee machine here. This is the Dolce Gusto one. I've worked with them in the past. I keep this one here because the other one matches the kitchen better, which is really vain. And then in this top cupboard here we have pods for that, extra cookery books that we don't use as much, maybe they're seasonal or I just don't like them as much, random bits like aprons and a vase and random stuff up there. In here we have my laundry stuff, so that is right above the washing machine, so it just kind of makes sense and it keeps it out of the kids' reach as well. So got everything that we need in there, and then like vitamins and sun cream at the top as well. This sign was by a lady, I think her account is Signs by RT. I will leave a link down below because I always get asked about this. Absolutely love it. And then we have like plug sockets and stuff. We have a stainless steel sink, which is great for like washing the dog. Sometimes though he's getting bigger, he fit perfectly in there when he was a puppy, but it's good for like messy stuff like washing up after crafts, you know, paint and things like that. I've got cheeky wipes that I need to wash in a bit. Under here is our pet cupboard. So we have like snacks and dog treats and cat food, spare blankets and towels for the dog, and that kind of thing. But it makes sense. The kids can then help with giving the cat and dog like a treat because it's all on their level. And then finally above the sink is just our cleaning cupboard. So it's not, I feel like it should be more fancily organised, but I just put them in and they fit. And I have a bit for like cloths up there. Those are plugins or toilet things, you know what I mean, like room blockers and all that, and then various bits and bobs, but it's just out of reach of the kids then, which is the main thing. And then this big cupboard here, we initially designed it to keep like the vacuum cleaner and the brush and that kind of thing, but we decided actually to use it as a craft extras cupboard and games and stuff, and the kids can access this and it works wonders. It is not perfectly tidy by any means because it looks like someone has been in here today and decided to trash it, but that's okay, that's what it's there for. But we have let me put this back in. We have little bits and bobs for like bubbles, we have paints, face paint, we've got our butterfly thing that I want to do again this year with them because they love that, poster paints and brushes at the bottom. We have crafty bits. Gosh, someone's really gone to town in here today. We've got colouring stuff, colouring books, card, paper packages, that kind of thing. Games, loads of different things. This disco light is amazing, by the way. We use this to do our family discos in the kitchen sometimes in the weekend. Probably do it tonight because it's dead good fun. Stick some music on and it's just it's a fab little thing. And we've got like water beads, kinetic sand, they love that, like different games. Then at the top here we have Play-Doh, crafty little bits, more games, and then at the top just a few like extra bin bags, extra toilet roll, extra kitchen roll. There's like other random bits at the bottom, but I love this cupboard because when it's open it looks like an absolute state, but when it's closed it looks great. So that is that. And then yeah, I don't think there's much more else to say. We've got like a door that goes out to the front, so we have two like doors at the front, which is convenient when we've been on a dog walk. That's why we planned this, so we can come in here, take our wellies off under the alcove out there, leave them outside, can wash our hands if we need to, get the dog sorted and cleaned up if we need to, and it just flows really nicely. And yeah, I guess the final thing, like these little letters that I picked when I went to Bakewell with my friend, they just say home, and that is it. And yeah, that is the end of the tour. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about where things are from or stuff like that, then let me know. I don't know all of the measurements and stuff off the top of my head, but I can always try and look back on our like plans and stuff if that helps. But yeah, we are so proud of this space. We've been working towards this for absolutely ages, like years and years, and to actually be here now, like it's changed the way we live in our house, and we absolutely love it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will hopefully see you all very soon. Bye.